Hi everybody, it's Adam with HeartValveSurgery.com, and we're in Los Angeles, California at the Society of Thoracic Surgeons Conference. I'm thrilled to be joined by Dr. Edward Soltesz, who is a leading cardiac surgeon at Cleveland Clinic in Cleveland, Ohio. Dr. Soltesz, we've known each other for a long time. It's great to see you again.
Nice to see you, Adam. Thank you.
Yeah, so we're here at STS and we're answering patient questions that are coming in from all over the world. This one comes in from Sandy, and she asks, I had mitral valve repair with numerous complications. I needed a blood transfusion. When is a blood transfusion advised? What are the symptoms? How often do they happen? What are the pros and cons? And what about blood banking before surgery?
Well, Adam, Sandy asks a very interesting question. And Sandy, I'm sorry you had the complications that you had. You obviously had a major heart surgery, but I'm hoping you're doing well now. You raise an interesting question, though, and that is blood product utilization. Majority of cardiac surgery patients undergo heart surgery without any need for a blood product transfusion. So that's first and foremost, I think, is important to recognize for all patients. But the need for a blood product transfusion can be for a number of reasons. If your blood count due to possibly bleeding during surgery drops to a critical level, the team often will administer a blood product, possibly either blood or coagulation factors to help stop the bleeding in certain situations, with the goal to be able to allow you to recover faster through your ICU and through your recovery phase even at home. The issue, of course, with blood product utilization is it comes with a risk. And we know from studies now out 25 years, where we've extensively studied blood product utilization in surgery, that whenever a patient does receive a blood product transfusion, there's positives and negatives about it. Positives, of course, relate to the here and now, to the immediate phase, being able to get them through the ICU faster, get them out back to home and recovering faster. But on the flip side, we know that there is sometimes, in certain situations, there is a penalty in the long term. We know that blood product transfusion long term can impact long-term survival, and that is for all types of surgeries, not only cardiac surgery. So understanding that, I think, is critical. You bring up a point about what can be done. Well, I think most importantly, preventing blood product transfusion starts before surgery. And we at the Cleveland Clinic actually have just started a new center, the Center for Bloodless Surgery. And this is the first of its kind where we bring experts from all disciplines together, from hematology, from anesthesia, from surgery, from critical care, all together preoperatively in patients who have low blood counts. And we ideally optimize those patients with a number of both medications as well as potentially blood banking options as well. So there are many options available, but I do think this is a very important question because most patients, again, don't need blood and don't receive blood during a standard open heart surgery. But if you do, oftentimes it's because your blood count has fallen too low and you need support. But of course, ideally, identifying patients who potentially will need that preoperatively and mitigating that risk up front is key to success.
Well, Dr. Soltesz, on behalf of Sandy and all the patients at HeartValveSurgery.com, patients all over the world, thanks to the work that you and your team are doing there at Cleveland Clinic in Cleveland, Ohio. Thanks so much for being with me today.
Thank you, Adam. Thank you very much.
Hi, everybody, it's Adam. I hope you enjoyed that video. And don't forget, you can always subscribe to our YouTube channel, watch the next 2 educational videos coming up on your screen, or click the blue button to visit HeartValveSurgery.com.